The Amazing Bubble Boy and the Giant Gumball Escape. In the town of Fizzleville, there lived a boy named Oliver who had an unusual talent. He could blow the biggest bubbles anyone had ever seen. But these weren't just any ordinary bubbles, they were magic bubbles. Oliver could make them strong enough to carry anything, big or small. One sunny afternoon, Oliver was hanging out at the park, blowing his famous bubbles. Kids gathered around, watching as he made bubbles the size of basketballs, then beach balls, then even as big as a car. "Wow, Ollie! Can you make one big enough to carry a person?" asked his best friend, Mia. "Of course." Oliver grinned. He took a deep breath, puffed out his cheeks, and blew the biggest, shiniest bubble you could imagine. It floated up into the sky, reflecting all the colors of the rainbow. But just as Oliver was about to pop it for fun, they heard a loud crash from the middle of town. "Oh no!" Mia gasped. "Something's happening." Without missing a beat, Oliver grabbed his trusty bubble wand, took another deep breath, and blew a bubble so big that both he and Mia could fit inside. The bubble lifted them off the ground and carried them toward the town square. When they arrived, they saw the source of the commotion. A giant gumball machine had broken, and gumballs the size of bowling balls were rolling all over the streets. People were running and dodging as the massive gumballs bounced off buildings, knocked over carts, and caused total chaos. "Oh no! How did that happen?" Mia asked, wide-eyed. Oliver spotted Mr. Chewy, the town's candy store owner, looking distraught. "I was trying to fix the machine, and I must have pulled the wrong lever. Now the whole thing's gone haywire." Mr. Chewy cried, watching helplessly as gumballs rolled down the streets like an avalanche. "This is a job for Bubble Boy," Oliver declared, puffing out his chest. Mia smiled. "Let's do this." Oliver grabbed his wand and blew a massive bubble. It hovered in front of him like a giant shield. "Hop in, Mia," he said. Once they were safely inside, Oliver guided the bubble toward the biggest gumball. With one swift movement, he popped the bubble, creating a powerful gust of air that blew the gumball backward, stopping it just before it could crash into a hot dog stand. "Whoa! That was close," Mia said, clutching the bubble. But there were still dozens of gumballs rolling out of control. Oliver needed to think fast. That's when he had an idea. He flew his bubble back to Mr. Chewy. "Do you have any bubble gum?" Oliver asked. "Bubble gum? I've got tons of it." "Why?" Mr. Chewy replied, confused. "I'm going to need a lot of it," Oliver said with a grin. Minutes later, Oliver was chewing the biggest wad of bubble gum anyone had ever seen. He blew a bubble so enormous that it covered the entire town square. The bubble was so strong and stretchy, it trapped all the giant gumballs inside it. "Now, we just have to carry these gumballs out of here," Oliver announced. With the bubble full of gumballs floating safely above the ground, Oliver guided it to a giant storage space just outside of town. The gumballs were safely dropped off without causing any more damage. The town cheered as Oliver floated back down to the square. "Thank you, Bubble Boy," they shouted. Mia high-fived Oliver. "You're amazing, Ollie." Mr. Chewy was overjoyed. "You saved my shop, and the town. From now on, you get free candy for life." Oliver grinned. "I guess saving the day is pretty sweet." And from that day forward, whenever Fizzleville faced a sticky situation, everyone knew they could count on the amazing Bubble Boy to float in and save the day. The end.